BTB listeners, thank you so much for checking out today's episode. Listen, if this episode inspires you, do me a favor and take 5 seconds to shoot me a like and subscribe to the podcast. There are several more exciting guests that are in the pipeline, and I just can't thank you enough for your continued support, and let's keep paying the mission forward.
So you have to decide first. You act next, and the belief will catch up later. If you wait to feel ready, I'm going to say that again. If you wait to feel ready, you'll wait forever. The people who win in life and the most successful clients that I've been able to work with, they're the ones who make the decision to stick to a plan no matter what.
What are you built to be? What are you built to become? The time is now. The time is right now. You weren't built to break. You were built to be something greater. Welcome to Season 2 of the BTB Project. I'm your host, Kollman Gearhart. I was an overweight kid, the one counted out, lost 100 pounds, found purpose in the pain, and turned my setbacks into a story worth telling. This podcast isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about identity, discipline, and comebacks. Getting up one more time and becoming who we're always meant to be. If you're ready to go deep, do the work, and live out what you're built to be, you're in the right place. Let's lock in, let's rise, and let's get to work. Welcome back to the BTB Project. I'm your host, Kollman Gearhart, and today we are going to piggyback off of a series called the BTB Blueprint. Last episode, we talked about the power of studying your story and understanding where you've been before deciding where you want to go. And we did an awesome 3-column exercise that puts you in the framework of understanding who you are, understanding what your story is, and where you want to go. Highly suggest checking out episode 1, leading up to 12 total episodes of the BTB Blueprint for your Built to Be journey. This episode is where the shift begins. This is the moment that separates dreamers from doers. It takes you from that sheet of paper that you've created, and it puts you into a mindset of taking the next step, of taking action. And the word that we're going to focus on in today's episode is decide. I often teach my clients that indecision is the worst decision. And putting yourself in a situation where you're undecided often leads to a lot of wasted time, a lot of wasted breaths, a lot of wasted reps, and not being focused, not being clear-minded, and being in this gray area of not deciding to do or deciding not to do can be detrimental, because your next chapter doesn't start when you have this all figured out. It starts when you decide who you are going to become. I think a lot of people wait for clarity in their life before taking action. Do you feel like you're a victim of that? If you're a listener, raise your hand. Even though I can't see you, I definitely understand the feeling of trying to do things without being clear. Wanting this perfect scenario of clarity, which actually isn't reality.
You see, being able to take a step, there is obviously going to be risk and pain and difficult circumstances and suffering that comes along with the choices and the decisions that we make. But people that become paralysis by analysis and never make a choice, never decide, they'll say things like, well, once I have a better plan, or once things settle down, or once I feel ready. But here's the truth. Clarity doesn't come before the decision. Clarity often comes after the decision. You can't steer a parked car. You're going to look real interesting just sitting there, moving the wheel back and forth without pushing the gas pedal. You've got to start moving to see where you're heading. And when you make a real decision, I mean a line in the sand moment, something powerful happens in your life. The world around you actually starts to shift. You start aligning your energy, your habits, your mindset with that decision. It's the decision that gets the energy moving in the direction that you want it to go. When you remain undecided, that energy is stored up. It's kept in a place that can't be unleashed for your build to be journey to impact this world. It's about making a decision, pushing the gas, and building momentum. But it's pushing the gas is when that momentum begins. I remember being a teenager and standing in front of the mirror after losing about 110 pounds. And I realized something important in that moment. Even though I had shed the weight, the pounds were gone, I still didn't quite know who I was. I had spent years trying to prove people wrong. All of the doubters, the naysayers, the ones that would run around and call me the big teddy bear. My goal was to prove them wrong. I had spent all these years with my coaches, with teachers, with my peers, making sure that they understood that I was better. I had changed my life because of the scrutiny that they put me through. But at that point, I still hadn't quite decided who I wanted to become. I knew I had lost the weight to go after my goal as a tennis player, but I remember looking at myself in the mirror one day and saying, enough. I'm not who I used to be. I get to decide who I'm going to become. I didn't want to just be a Division I college tennis player. I wanted to be somebody that would lead people, lead my teammates, be an example, be someone that was motivational, inspirational, and encouraging to others. I knew that I had something a whole lot bigger to give than just what I could do as an athlete. And that single decision, after I had shed the weight and decided the bigger picture, that's when everything changed. It wasn't in an instant. It definitely wasn't perfect, but it gave me something that I had never had before. Direction, a North Star, something that I could go after each and every day. The all-encompassing goal. My goal to be aspirational in this life, to impact others and change lives. From that moment, every decision, every choice, every challenge was measured against that decision of who I was built to be. You've probably heard
people say, I'm just trying to find myself. I come across that all the time with my clients. That's why I always ask open-ended questions to understand what's their why, what motivates them, what makes them tick, what gets them out of bed each day. But here's the problem with that. You're not lost. You don't find identity. You actually decide it. Identity isn't something that shows up one day and the timing feels right. It's actually something you create by the choices you make every single day. Every time you get up early to train, every time you put in the reps in the weight room or go on that run, every time you make the hard call as a salesperson, or every time you choose discipline over comfort, when you're loving and caring for your family and the people you want to be around the most, that's when you're building your identity. You're saying, this is who I am now. So let me ask you, who are you becoming? Not who do you want to be someday? That's not the question. But who are you becoming right now through your daily decisions? Every single day we get to wake up and take a deep breath in, deep breath out. That is a good day. That is a day that is a tremendous blessing. Are you using it to get one step better, one step closer to your goal? I want to tie this into a second exercise. So in step 1 of the BTB Blueprint, we've studied our lives. We know who we were. We know who we want to become. We know the things that are getting in the way. But now we're going to build your built to be statement. And this is something that I want to walk through as an exercise because I've used it for years with my clients. I've used it for myself. I've used it in professional settings, businesses, helping organizations establish culture, establish identity. And I want this built to be statement to be something that helps you. So go ahead and grab a notebook or a sheet of paper. Now, don't overthink this. I want you to let it flow. Once you've written, I am built to be up top, I want you to finish that last word. Finish that statement. Maybe it's, I'm built to be resilient. Maybe it's, I'm built to be a leader. Maybe it's, I'm built to be a light for others. Maybe it's, I'm built to be an impact. Whatever it is, let it come from your gut. Let it come from what's sitting on the forefront of your mind right now. Not your resume, not what you've done to this point, but what's on your heart right now. And once you've written that down, I want you to read it out loud every morning this week. Every single morning you get up and take a breath, you're going to start your day with your built to be statement, otherwise known as a positive affirmation, something that reminds you of where you're going, who you want to become, that gives you life. It injects life and purpose into what you're doing each and every day. And as you read that out loud every morning this week, you're going to create repetition. You're going to create belief. And it's the belief that creates behavior. And when you declare who you're becoming, your actions start catching up. I don't want to be a podcast that has a bunch of listeners that do these exercises and then sit on their hands. I want to be a podcast and a movement that allows us to take action. That's what a built to be community is all about.
One of the biggest lies is we believe that confidence comes before commitment. Well, I got to have the courage, the strength to make this decision, and that's not the case. Your confidence comes from your commitment. When I made that decision to go lose over 100 pounds, I didn't have any confidence. I took a leap of faith. And it was every pound that shed from my body that led me to a confident state, to a confident place. So you have to decide first. You act next, and the belief will catch up later. If you wait to feel ready, you'll wait forever. I'm going to say that again. If you wait to feel ready, you'll wait forever. The people who win in life and the most successful clients that I've been able to work with aren't ones with the best plan. They're the ones who make the decision to stick to a plan no matter what. They've decided. They're not indecisive. They're making 1, 2, 3, 5, 20 steps a day in the direction towards the decision that they've made. So here's your BTB challenge when it comes to step 2, deciding. Here's what the challenge is. Write your built to be statement. Make sure it's visible so that when you wake up in the morning, you can say it every day. Read it every day out loud for 7 days in a row. And take one action each day that aligns with the identity and the purpose that's written in your statement. Don't chase who you were. Don't wait for someone to tell you who you are. Decide. The time is now. Because your next chapter won't be written by chance. It will be written by choice. Listen, if this episode on making a decision as part of the BTB Blueprint, if it impacted your life, do me a favor, like and subscribe to the BTB Project. We have 10 more steps in the BTB Blueprint. I cannot wait to walk through each and every one with you. Again, this is a masterclass that has not only worked personally in my life, but has helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of my clients figure out their built to be journey, figure out their why, and go after life. Let's keep pushing. Impossible's nothing. I'm proud of each and every one of you. And until next time, take care.